Red Bull Racing believed their 2026 power unit future was firmly secured. A high-profile partnership with Ford had been announced with great fanfare, promising a new era of innovation, independence, and American engineering muscle. But just as preparations were intensifying behind closed doors, Ford has now stunned the paddock with a major shift in its strategy, and Red Bull has been left scrambling for answers. Sources inside both camps suggest that Ford's revised internal priorities have caused a slowdown, if not a redirection, of their original commitment. Whether it is about budget reallocations, leadership reshuffles, or shifting technological focus, the result is clear. The seamless road to 2026 is no longer as smooth as Red Bull expected. This development has sparked uncertainty within the Red Bull Powertrains project in Milton Keens and cast fresh doubt over how ready the team will be when the new engine regulations kick in. With rivals like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Audi surging ahead in their development programs, any hesitation or delay could cost Red Bull dearly in the next generation of Formula One. Could this unexpected twist from Ford jeopardize Red Bull in the sport's biggest technical reset in decades? The iconic American manufacturer will officially mark its return to Formula One in 2026, exactly 3 years after announcing a partnership with Red Bull aimed at shaping the future of the team's power unit. That partnership, initially presented as a supporting role focused on the electrical components of the new hybrid era, has since evolved into something much larger as Ford gradually deepens its involvement in the project. When the collaboration was first revealed, Ford's input was largely restricted to the electrification side, areas such as battery development, electric motors, inverters, and energy management systems. But in a surprising twist, Ford Motorsport director Mark Rushbrook has confirmed that the company has expanded its remit to cover a far greater share of the power unit's design and production. Initially, we weren't really interested in working on the combustion engine, but now we're doing it because we obviously still have a lot to learn in this area, Rushbrook admitted in an interview. We're primarily helping with the production of parts, so now we're working on almost the entire car, and also on the operational side. Rushbrook explained that the project was always meant to serve as a technological learning curve for Ford, especially as the global automotive industry continues to pivot toward electrification. We wanted to learn about electrification, battery cell chemistry, motors, inverters, calibration, control, and how everything interacts with the combustion engine. We wanted to learn about optimizing fuel efficiency. This revelation not only underscores Ford's commitment to Formula One, but also highlights how the lure of the sport's technical challenges has drawn the company into a deeper role than it first envisioned. What began as a targeted collaboration has evolved into Ford embedding itself across nearly every aspect of Red Bull's ambitious 2026 project, setting the stage for one of the most intriguing manufacturer comebacks in modern F1. Reflecting on Ford's bold decision to return to the pinnacle of motorsport after more than 2 decades on the sidelines, Ford's global motorsport chief explained the motivations behind their comeback. There were many reasons why we wanted to return to Formula One: the new regulations, the sport's commitment to carbon neutrality, the new fuels, the popularity of the sport, he said, outlining how the evolving landscape of F1 aligned with Ford's future strategy. Timing, however, played an equally critical role. Ford found itself in the right place at the right moment when Red Bull decided to embark on the audacious project of developing its own power unit for 2026. For the reigning champions, the move was as bold as it was risky. Establishing Red Bull Powertrains meant building expertise and infrastructure from scratch in Milton Keens, a factory that had never before designed an F1 engine. Despite being one of the most successful teams on the grid, Red Bull quickly realized that the scale of the challenge would stretch even their considerable resources. That created the perfect opening for Ford to step in. Luckily, our timing with Red Bull was perfect, the American noted. They had just decided to develop their own powertrain for 2026. It was still a very early stage, but even then they realized that resources were limited, even for a major Formula One team, especially since Milton Keens had never developed its own engine before. Yet Ford's high-profile return comes at a turbulent moment for Red Bull Racing. The shock dismissal of long-serving team principal Christian Horner earlier this summer has triggered widespread uncertainty about the team's direction and stability at a time when clarity is most needed. The leadership vacuum has forced Red Bull into a transitional period, raising questions about whether their dominant winning streak of the last decade can continue uninterrupted into the new regulatory era. Meanwhile, the driver market is equally volatile. After months of frenzied speculation linking him to a sensational move to Mercedes, Max Verstappen has finally committed his future to Red Bull, confirming he will remain with the team through the 2026 season. The 4-time world champion's decision decision provides much-needed reassurance at a time of flux, ensuring Red Bull retains its greatest asset as it enters the unknown with Ford, but uncertainty lingers over the other seat. Yuki Tsunoda's struggles since being promoted have left his place in doubt, and with Ford keen to leverage the marketing potential of their return, the choice of Verstappen's teammate could prove a crucial piece in Red Bull's long-term strategy. If Ford's expanded role with Red Bull has electrified the paddock, it is only one part of a much larger storm brewing around the 2026 engine regulations. The FIA promised clarity and stability, yet instead has created an atmosphere of hesitation and second-guessing. While the governing body insists the next generation of power units will blend electrification with sustainable fuels to push Formula One into a greener era, teams and manufacturers are still grappling with the sheer complexity of the rules. Hybrid balance, energy deployment limits, and the costs of new fuel blends are all proving to be moving targets, leaving even established players like Mercedes and Ferrari questioning whether the regulations are truly set in stone. That uncertainty sets the stage for a manufacturer showdown unlike anything the sport has seen in decades. Audi has already staked its claim with a full works entry, eager to position itself as a German powerhouse ready to challenge Mercedes head-on. Porsche continues to hover around the paddock, weighing whether to finally commit to its long-rumoured F1 return, while Honda has put its chips firmly on Aston Martin, in what many see as a calculated bet on the team's long-term potential. Against that backdrop, Ferrari and Mercedes are not just defending their own dynasties, they are fighting to ensure the new rules do not hand their rivals an advantage. It is into this battleground that Ford steps with Red Bull. What was initially a neat marketing opportunity has now become a high-stakes gamble. If the regulations deliver as intended, Ford's learning curve could transform them into a central figure of F1's hybrid future. But if the FIA's indecision drags on, the risk is that Red Bull and Ford arrive in 2026 already on the back foot, outpaced by rivals who have been sharpening their weapons with far greater stability. In many ways, the partnership is not just about engines, it is about survival in a Formula One landscape where every manufacturer sees the 2026 reset as a once-in-a-generation chance to seize supremacy. For Ford, the return is about far more than just winning races. Formula One offers a global stage to showcase cutting-edge technology at a time when the automotive industry is undergoing its most dramatic transformation in a century. The lessons learned in battery chemistry, sustainable fuels, and hybrid optimization can filter directly into the company's road cars, strengthening Ford's position in an increasingly competitive electric vehicle market. That dual purpose, competition on the track and relevance on the road, explains why this partnership carries such weight at the corporate level. Do you think Ford's deeper involvement will make Red Bull unstoppable in 2026, or will the uncertainty around the new engine rules hand the advantage to rivals like Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi, or even Aston Martin with Honda? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.